Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. Let me see if I can fix this camera. Looked a little bit better in the trial over here. Give me 1 second. Let me just close this over here. All right, a little bit better. Thank you all for joining me today. We have launched. I don't know if you guys have had a chance yet. I know we just sent out the email right now announcing that it's live, but we have launched our new factory access campaign as we told you guys that we would. This campaign, hey Leslie. Yes, Leslie. I'm sorry. This one we're doing just in the men's signature and some of the original shoes that we did not release in the most recent factory access campaign, as we said we would. So, yeah, but as you know, I know you purchased some of our other shoes before, so we do make them all in size 5 and up. So we have many women that do buy them. So I don't know if you're completely out of the woods yet. Thank you, Leslie. So yeah, so we just introduced our signature line again. For those of you guys that do know, sorry, I'm reading over here Leslie's comments at the same time. For those of you that do know about a little bit about our signature line, it's yes, the factory access website is up and running. You can go to craft.acemarks.com right now, and you're going to see it over there. I don't know if you got to see our previous factory access. This is actually something we haven't done before. We're releasing back-to-back factory access campaigns. We just finished, actually last night around midnight, we took down our previous factory access campaign, and today we put up a new one, and that new one has our signature shoes, which are our Goodyear welted shoes. And we also have, as we promised you guys, some of the original shoes that did not make it to the first factory access campaign, which we launched a little over a month ago, now at the end of March. So this is an all-new campaign launching today. We had way too many shoes. I'd made way too many shoes to put it all in one campaign. So we split it into two, and I guess you can call this part two. We're calling it Signature Edition. And again, our signature collection, for those of you that do not know, is our Goodyear welted collection. So this is our sterling apron front Oxford. It's the first time we've ever done an apron front Oxford like this. This is out of our signature collection. This one happens to be in bourbon signature. And it's, as you guys can see over here, all of our signature shoes come with this stamp, this Goodyear stamp. We also, like I was just saying, we also launched some new original shoes, which were essentially the stragglers that did not make it. I shouldn't call them stragglers. That doesn't sound so good, but these are the ones that we had to cut in order to be able to launch the women's collection, to launch all the new sneakers that we launched, to launch all the new originals that we launched. We just had way too many shoes to put up. So we put up whatever we didn't put up before is up now. So some examples of what was cut previously. Actually, we had updated this. I have a new sample of this, but this is a Velo Blue with Cuello Mateo. You did see the Mateo in the previous factory access campaign. In the previous factory access campaign, the one that we just finished last night, we had this in all blue. Now we had this in blue with a Cuello accent on it. So a lot of the shoes, actually, if you're into shoes that are different, not generic black and brown, I know that we do have a lot of unique shoes in our factory access campaign in general, but I think that once you look at what we have going on right now at craft.acemarks.com, you will see that we have even more unique shoes in our original collection here. And in addition to that, we also have, I'm going to see what I can pull over here. We also have our signature collection, again, Goodyear welted. And what's interesting about our signature collection is, one, we only make it available once a year during factory access. So we do not have our Goodyear welted signature collection available the rest of the year. This is only one time. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at, we have this beautiful shoe. Give me 1 second, let me pull this over. Yeah, so this is something that we cut. So this is our chance right now to, if you didn't think what we had in our previous factory access campaign, and we didn't think that that was unique enough, you're gonna have items like this live right now on craft.acemarks.com. I'm gonna keep on pulling a few of those as we go on here. I'm gonna be live for about an hour or so, answering any questions that you guys may have. What's pretty interesting, though, I'd say about our signature collection, is that really is the centerpiece of this launch right now, is that, you know, my idea with that, I know that with originals, you guys are used to me making lots of crazy things all the time. Everything's really different. With signature, I'm trying to stay much more classic. So we're really only adding one or two, actually two more styles to our signature collection this year. And it's this apron front this apron front Oxford. And then we also are adding a single monk strap. So our signature collection, really the idea behind this for me, is to have a very classic collection. I'm not really into making anything too crazy in the signature collection. It's going to be more staples, more classics. Each shoe is available in about 4 colors in this Diablo signature, bourbon signature, black signature, cognac signature, and a couple we also have available in either brown signature or a blue signature color. And I'm going to pull some of those colors, and as you guys have questions, you know, please feel free to ask. This is the blue that we have available in signature. It's we call this, I call this almost like an electric blue. It's a little bit different than what you see in our original collection. It's a little bit more vibrant. It's got a little bit more vibrancy to it. Put this one back. Yes, and you may see a couple pictures with the chisel toe. This was a last that I was working on, but ultimately decided not to release. We're sticking with our ace last. And yeah, as you guys come on here, I'd love to answer any questions that you may have. And I'm going to keep on pulling shoes. Let me just take a quick look over here. Just fill up all the pictures. So if you guys missed, again, I'm going to probably focus more on the signature. If you guys have questions on the originals, of course, we can go back and forth as you guys want, as you guys would like. What's pretty cool about these signatures, and very different than what we typically do, is the outsoles, the bottom on this. All of our signature outsoles are made tone on tone. So if you order a bourbon, you're going to get a bourbon outsole. If you order a cognac, you're going to get a cognac outsole, and so on and so forth. Actually, this was worn by one of our models. But you'll see also here in the details. So get this in focus. So in addition to the tone-on-tone colors, all this is finished by hand, colored by hand at our factory. There's a nice video that you can see. You just click on it on the top of the signature section. It's going to show you exactly how we make these shoes, the entire process. A truncated version, it's a 45-second video. We know attention spans these days aren't that long to watch hours and hours of a shoe being made. But you can take a look and see how the process of this outsole, process that we go through to get this outsole to look like this. Each one of these gold nails is placed by hand. There's a little clip in that video, I believe, where you see Nicola, our lead patina artist, placing all of these nails by hand. And the purpose of these nails is, one, it's decorative, but it also does protect the toe a little bit. It's almost like having a metal toe cap on your outsole to protect it a little bit. As you guys know, toes and heels are two of the places on an outsole that you get a lot of wear. Giacomo, the answer is yes. Giacomo, all of our factory access shoes are not. If you're inside the EU, we're never going to take the shoes outside of the EU. These are going to go into our warehouse that is in the EU and ship directly to you. So you don't have to pay any import duties or any taxes on it. So it's going to be much easier than buying, at least for our EU customers or European Union customers. It is a little bit easier to buy from our factory access campaigns and from our website because you do not have those additional costs to be concerned with. So Giacomo, yes, this is going to ship straight from inside of Europe when we do ship this. And remember, our factory access campaign, the prices are significantly lower than on our website. And that has a lot to do with the cost savings that we experience when we sell like this. It's essentially crowdfunding. So we're pre-selling our production, and this is really the only way we produce these limited edition shoes. So we pre-sell this production, and in August is when you're going to be receiving this, August, September. And it goes, if you're in the EU again, it goes directly to you. If you're in the US, it'll ship out of Miami. And if you're in Canada, we ship to a warehouse in Canada that we work with, and it's going to be shipped to you there. So all the prices are going to be including for our Canadian customers, the shipping cost that you see there on factory access, that includes all duties, taxes, and shipping. So you don't have, once you pay, put it another way, once you pay on factory access, no one has to worry again about import duties or taxes. I should say, no one in the US, Canada, or the EU. If you are in a country outside of the US, Canada, or the EU, there would be some duties, some import duties involved. So PG, if I was to ask for one thing, is a chisel toe last. What shoes have that? So I'll show it again, but that chisel toe last, it's not something we ended up producing. Frankly, I wasn't a big fan of the way it looked on the foot. So I don't want to create too much confusion and show too much. But this was the chisel toe last that I was working on. I was working on this about a year and a half ago or so. But ultimately, I'm sorry, this is a little bit all scratched up. This has been very manipulated, and I actually used this to test some other products that we've been looking at. So this is like a cover for the outsole to protect the outsole. Unfortunately, I wasn't too happy with it because once you peeled it off, it kind of took some of the color with it. It's not too bad here, but still. Anyways, that's neither here nor there at this point. Can you see the difference between Diablo and Cognac? Yes, of course. Let me pull out a Diablo shoe. So here you go. So this is our Diablo signature. It's almost like a Merlot type color, but a very, very light one. And then this is our Cognac. And for those of you guys wondering, this shoe right here, in our signature collection last year when we made it available for factory access, this was the #1 shoe. Hey Kevin, how are you? Nice to see you. Glad that you were able to join us this morning. P, is there any other questions that I can answer for you? Any other questions you have about signature, about the new originals, anything at all? And I hope that you guys had a chance to see what we had available over the last 30 days in our first factory access campaign. We had about 80 different shoes there. Here we have about 28 new original shoes, and I don't remember what the count is here on our signature shoes. I don't know, Julian, if you're on there in the chat, if you can help me out with that. How many shoes we have in signature? I want to say it's about that, also another 25 or 30 or so. But it's a nice collection. So I'm going to start pulling out a few of my P 5,000 to get them all, to get all the signatures. You mean? Oh, that may be about right. 5,000 to get them all. At least one of each. But take a look and see what you like. I'm happy to pull any of the styles that you want to take a closer look at. Some of the cool things that we have also in the original is this Nico. This Nico should make this look a little prettier. Sorry, these are all model worn. So these Nikos, this is a Nico in bourbon. The Nico is a shoe. It's a hole cut with some broguing on it that we released back in 2017. I want to say, but we're re-releasing it now with some new colors. It's available now on craft.acemarks.com. In the bourbon, we have it also in a walnut, I believe, and we also have it in a blue, which we never had it available before. So we did some new variations on this. We also did bring back, now in this current factory access that we just launched a few minutes ago, we brought back our Theo in Vela Blue. And we decided just to put a couple of our top sellers from what we just did the past 30 days. Decided to just put this back in there because you guys liked it so much. This was our #1 selling shoe in factory access. And I think you guys may have seen my email, but it's the first time that we have a blue shoe being the top seller. Actually, it's the first time that we have blue shoes being in the top 5. So I think there's something to be said right now about blue shoes in general and the popularity of them. The versatility, I think people are looking for an alternative to black, and blue is actually a great alternative. It goes with jeans, a lot of different types of suits. So it really just depends on your wardrobe. And we sent out an email about how versatile blue really is. And I think that you guys fully understand that. So I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you guys know a lot about fashion and style and how to pair shoes that are a little bit off of what's expected. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. Oh, all right. So Fuji Wuji. Just to explain to you, if you're in Poland, the price that you paid for your shoes on factory access, that's it. That includes duties, that includes VAT, that includes everything. So you're not going to have to pay anything else for shipping. You're not importing it from the US. If you're inside the EU, we're going to ship to you from inside the EU. So you don't have to worry about anything else. It's going to be an easy transaction for you. You paid in shipping probably around $25, I think it is, to the EU, and that's it. No other costs. So it's not like your typical experience purchasing from American companies that ship from the US. So we do have a warehouse inside the EU that's going to fulfill this for you. Yes, Giacomo, I'm happy to tell you about the Goodyear Flex. So let me grab a shoe that's already been. So usually, have a quick drink of water here. So if you guys know a little bit about a Goodyear welt, just talk a little bit about the differences between a Blake stitch and a Goodyear welt. So Goodyear welt is a different construction. Just to simplify it, most Goodyear welted shoes that you see will have like this little edge over here, and that's because that's actually very useful. A lot of times you see this on a shoe, but it's just ornamentation. In the case of a Goodyear shoe, that's actually where the upper gets stitched to the outsole, and it's like an exterior welt, an exterior stitch almost. That's probably the biggest difference between a Goodyear welt and a Blake stitch. I mean, there's some more technicalities we can get into, but it's really the way that the upper is stitched to the outsole. A Goodyear welted shoe will typically have a cork midsole. Ours have that as well, and you'll also see a metal shank. If you click on the video, actually, no, maybe I'll include a link over here. Julian, can you put a link to the Goodyear welt? I'm sorry, to our signature edition, signature collection video on YouTube, so people can see how our Goodyear welt is put together. But so Goodyear welt does. So yeah, sorry, that's pretty the main difference between a Goodyear and a Blake in terms of the construction. Again, watch the video. There's a lot more detail to it, but that's a 10,000 foot view. But one of the main differences in terms of wear and feel is that a Goodyear welted shoe is almost always going to be heavier and stiffer because of that construction, and so it has a longer break-in period. really we focus mostly, and really Italy in general has a bigger focus on Blake stitch shoes, which are most of our shoes, because they are more lightweight, more flexible, and generally more comfortable out of the box. But what we do with our Goodyear, and which is the reason that we call it Goodyear Flex, is that usually with a new Goodyear welted shoe, it'd be very difficult to do this, right? Because usually it's stiff like a rock. Thank you, Julian. So this, our Goodyear Flex construction, does add a little bit more flexibility. It's not going to be like a Blake stitch shoe, and one of the biggest reasons is on a Goodyear welt, you usually have a thicker outsole, so that definitely reduces some of the flexibility. But compared to other Goodyear welted shoes, ours are more flexible and do have some added comfort out of the box. And that's why we call it a Goodyear Flex. And our factory's process is slightly different. I guess you can see most of it in the video. It is a Goodyear construction, but they're very good at making a comfortable shoe at the same time a well-made shoe. So that's why we call it Goodyear Flex. I hope that was somewhat clear at least. Thanks, Peter. I'm glad you enjoyed happy hour. Yeah, and we're still going to be having happy hour tonight, so you get to see me twice today. So we'll be doing happy hour for those of you that don't know at 5 o'clock Eastern, and we have a Zoom link for that. Julian, could you also put in our Zoom link for that happy hour here in the comments? That way people can join us today and talk a little bit more if you want to. No, my pleasure, Fuji. I love that you're making me say Fuji Wuji. That's awesome. Thank you. But yeah, you had to ship to your mom's because of that. All right, now you know. And actually, if you would like, we can if it's something that you ordered from factory access, you can still change your shipping. Just contact us to info@acemarks.com. I know there's going to be a slight difference in shipping charge. For shipping straight out of the EU, it's going to be $10 or $15 more. But again, you won't have to deal with any VAT or any duties, import duties, or whatnot. So that may still be a good option. You still have time to change that. All right, so I'm gonna start pulling some of my favorites from this second go around. Some of the original shoes that we did not include in our factory access collection in the last in the last launch about a month and a half ago, a little more than a month ago. I'm gonna pull them out right now. Give me a second and we'll go through all of them. So we're going to start with, let's start over here with our Ahmed Tassel loafer. So our Ahmed Tassel loafer is a shoe that we've released before. I think our first release of our Ahmed Tassel loafer was in 2017. But when I created the first 4 or 5 Ahmed Tassel loafers, I think that's how many we had available back then. I always looked at it as a shoe that should be bold. I think I saw it as an opportunity to do something really different. So you'll see our first Ahmeds, all of them were 2-toned or 3-toned. None of them were a single tone or a single color. So I wanted to really fix that, because a lot of people were always asking us if we can just do a black Ahmed or brown Ahmed, and we had never done that before. So contrary to pretty much everything else that you're going to see in this collection that we just made live, our Ahmed tassel toe is actually pretty subdued. It's pretty traditional, but for us, it's something that we had never done before on a tassel loafer. So you're going to find this Ahmed tassel loafer in black. You're going to find it, I believe we have it in cognac. You're going to find it in Diablo, all single colors. And you're also going to have it in in this. So here, to be frank, I just couldn't help myself. I couldn't just do all single-toned Amit tassel loafers. So I had to do something that's a little bit different. And this is, in real life, it looks like a mustard almost. We're calling this a cuoio. It's not really like a mustard. I shouldn't say that. It's not that strong. But this is a cuoio suede with dark brown tassels on it. So this is more in line with what we had done before with the Amits. And now again, we're making it more single colors, like the black, the Diablo. We do have a blue, and the cognac. Moving on. Some of you in the live streams that we did previously and some of the Zoom conferences that we've been having, the Zoom happy hours, did request to have this Mateo in our new walnut color. And we did have it available already. So this is released now. So for those of you that have been looking for this and asking for this, now's your chance to get it. And with Mateo is a more classic cap to Oxford. The biggest difference between this and our Griffin cap to Oxford, which is actually our #1 selling shoe in general on acemarks.com, is a black cap toe Griffin, which is a black cap to Oxford, just like this. The biggest difference is just this line. So this line on our Griffin cap to Oxford just drops down like this. This, I like to call it a little bit more of an architectural feel, rather this line going up. And the biggest reason that I did that is to be able to do things like this on it. We have in our Griffin, we do have two tones. In particular, our dark brown and brown is one of our more popular shoes, but it's a lot. It's when you have a two-tone like that, it really makes it, not everyone can wear it, I should say, is what I'm trying to say. When you kind of create more of a surface area for a single tone and then just create some space for just a pop of color, it makes it easier for more people to wear. So that's why I changed the lines on this and this Mateo, and that's really the biggest difference between this and the Griffin. I wanted to have a shoe where I can do more things like this. And we ended up also making it in some other colors, which you guys have seen already, but now we did want to release this one and then the blue one with the koi, which I just showed you. Moving on, we have our Greg, and this is in a chiseled walnut. Now, I really like this shoe because we're doing it in a much softer leather than our previous generations of Gregs. So these are almost like a deconstructed leather. Thanks, Leslie. See you today at 5 in a few hours. So this is our chiseled leather Gregs, and we did release this in Koyo. And actually, this was a little bit of an experiment. So I did this one online, but we are going to do this with lining in production. So you can kind of just ignore that the way you see it over there. But this is our chiseled leather walnut, and you can see some of the chiseled detail there. And it's something different. We know we have made Gregs in the past in browns and cognacs, but this, I just kind of I like the ruggedness of this leather, the way it looks. It almost looks like something that would have been worn maybe 40, 50, 60 years ago, and it would have picked up on a trip to Morocco, or your grandparents would have picked up on a trip to Morocco, and it's just got something about it that's just like different enough to not be usual, yet usual enough to be wearable. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone, but it does to me. And it's just got a nice texture to it. And just the color itself doesn't necessarily stand out, but that texture is something that's going to make the shoe stand out. So this is a pretty cool one. I like this a lot. Again, we did have it in a Koyo, which is a little bit of a lighter brown, and now we're releasing it in this walnut color. Moving on, I'm going to leave these probably for last. So the Cedrics in gray. So we did decide to release these. These are the only boots that are available right now on craft@acemarks.com. I actually shouldn't say that. It's the only boots in the original collection. In our signature Goodyear welted collection, we do have the fin boot, which I'll bring around shortly. I have a pair over there. And our Cedric is made on a rubber outsole. So we thought of this always as a boot that you're going to wear in a little bit more of a rugged environment. I wouldn't necessarily recommend wearing it in the rain. It's not really built for that. But if you do have it properly treated or properly polished with some wax polish, it's going to create a thick enough layer of protection between the water and the leather, the rain and the leather, so that if you do get caught up in a rainstorm, it's going to handle pretty well. And when we did this year, you guys may remember from previous collections our Hugo boots, and our Hugo boots were a plain toe lace-up boot, and they also did not have a zipper. So our Cedrics, so I know boots like these can be difficult to put on. So our Cedrics, see the laces in there, I do have the zipper. So it's easier to put on. You can unlace it, unzipper it, and pretty much this whole quarter front of the shoe will pull forward. So getting these on and off will be super easy. Moving on to the next one. My favorites are the Theos. I think I mentioned to you guys my favorite shoe from this collection is the Theo in Vela Blue. This one, which I showed a little bit. But originally when I made this Theo, you guys will notice, I know that a lot of you guys have also have seen before our Henry, which is a Capto monk strap. And you may be asking, what's the difference between the Henry and the Theo, and why did we not name this a Henry? The biggest reason for that is this cut right here. So this cut creates a separate piece between the upper, or actually this back panel, and the strap. The reason we did that was because my original idea with the Theo was to create a multi-material shoe where only the strap is going to be different material than the rest of the shoe. And the way that the pattern for the Henry was, this whole back piece was one. So I'd have to make this whole back quarter panel the same material as the strap, and I did not want to do that. The reality is that ultimately we ended up releasing in this last campaign more single material Theos, and we held these back. But this was really my original intention with the Theos, to make this multi-material, to have this multi-material look. So we have these now in gray with gray suede, and there's also a brown with brown suede, which is the main picture in our original section on craft.acemarks.com. So that's the story there. Also, you noticed this was also something questionable to me. So when I had this on paper, doing this little bit of a darker color with this light outsole, technically it's not something you'd usually do, but I think the sample came out pretty nice, and I liked it enough. I like it enough that I think we're going to keep it. Same thing with this. This was kind of like an experiment doing these lighter outsoles, but I think it ended up coming out pretty cool, and it's something we'll probably be doing more of going forward. So that's the Theo. What else do we have here? Are there any shoes that you guys want to see in particular? I don't know if you guys, I know it's a little bit soon. You guys are just looking through the collection now for the first time. So I'm probably asking too much. Yeah, the two-tone shoes have some suede. So yeah, I think that our first feature shoe in our first collection back in 2016, Fuji was our Griffin Capto. It was in like a brown with brown suede in the back, and it caught a lot of attention. It was an attention-catching picture, so it kind of did its job. It was a good we call it like a good window shoe, but ultimately it wasn't one of our better sellers, not even in that campaign. And then we had it on the website for a little bit, but I think we've pretty much phased it out. So yeah, so we're trying. It was a Henry, I think it was a two-toned, a suede and leather Capto monk strap that we did back in 2018. I want to say it was. We did it in blue, and we also did it in a brown, and that actually was pretty well received. So I'm trying that again here. I also like that a lot, which is why I'm giving that another shot here with the Theo, which I just lost. Oh, here it is. So I'm giving it another shot with the Theo. So yeah, no, I know. And there's some people. It's funny because we did it also in a Diablo with Diablo Suede, that original Griffin. And there's some people that still that still send us emails looking for it. But it's a very particular shoe for very particular clients. I'm glad that you like that as much as I do. So Peter, thank you. Yeah, man, I really wanted to do something different, not just another black sole. One thing I should probably say is that these outsoles, we're gonna notice they may look a little bit thin on some of these monk straps, but we are going to be using a regular Ace Marks outsole. This was actually just a sampling error. So it's going to be a little bit of a thicker outsole, not this thin on this one. And Peter, you want to see the Isaiah and Bourbon or Diablo? Let me see if I can pull that out over here. Give me 1 second, Peter. Let me take a quick look and see where we have it. Right next to me. So this is the Isaiah and Bourbon. Right over here. Is there anything in particular you wanted to see about the shoe? The difference between Isaiah and Luke. So Luke, the Luke from our original collection, is that what you're asking, Peter? If that's the case, there are two big differences. One, our Luke is in our original collection, so it's going to be a Blake stitch, and Isaiah is in our signature collection, so it's going to be a Goodyear welted shoe. So the constructions are completely different. Also, the Luke is almost more, I want to say like an austerity, like it's not really an austerity brogue, but it's more along the lines of that. And let me see if I can pull out a Luke over here so you can see just how different they are. They're actually very, very different shoes. There we go. So this is Isaiah, and again, this is in our signature collection. And then this is the Luke. Let me switch these over like this. You'll see, aside from the wingtip and the broguing, and the fact that they're both brogued with medallion toes, they're pretty different. The cuts are different. The panels are different. They're both Oxfords also, and again, the construction is different. This is our Goodyear welted collection, our signature collection, and this is one of the originals. This is our original collection. So that's the biggest difference. Thanks, Reg. You like the Vela blue on the Theo? So I have a question. I'm reading your question right now, Fuji. Would you? Yeah. So yeah, I actually Berluti is one of the shoes that I happen to love. They're beautiful. The patinas are beautiful, and I'm actually pretty close with one of their main patina artists. So I talk to him a lot at Berluti, and they do a really great job. But Berluti's an interesting brand because even within the world of LVMH, it's kind of hard to figure out where they fit in. because they create a very high-end product, very exclusive product, and they really thrive on that exclusivity. You know, when I mean thrive, I really mean that that's like that's their claim to fame, exclusivity. But you know, the thing that kind of affects them a lot also is that no, it's not as well known as like a Hermes or a Gucci or a Fendi, and they're also not very ostentatious. They don't show off the brand, right? So it's that's one of those types of shoes that if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. So it's a very particular customer. It's that customer that cares more about quality and materials and product and craftsmanship, almost like our customer, that the brand doesn't really make a difference. It's more about knowing that and that they know that they're wearing a Berluti shoe. And also their customer service is top notch. You know, you walk into a Berluti store, you can have your patinas changed, patinas updated. You can change the color of your shoe, and those are, I mean, they cost extra. So usually, if you're a Berluti customer, dropping a couple grand on a patina or a new pair of shoes is a chump change to you. But that's it. But they know you by name over there, right? So in the world of Berluti, I think they probably only have a few thousand customers in the world. So everyone it's like a very hands-on experience. It's a very personal experience, and that's like the mystique behind that whole brand. So yeah, I like them a lot. And actually, we can do that one day at a lower price point. I think that's really is what we try to do with what we do with Ace Marks. That's why I am as public and hands-on as I am, and I try to speak to everyone directly. I want everyone to kind of have that feel that that you know, when you walk into a store in your local neighborhood, and it's a store that you go to a lot, and they know your name, and you know, it's more like a hi and bye, like how are you doing? It's like everyone knows you. So that's kind of the feeling that I want to continue to build with Ace Marks. And you know, I think sometimes we can do better, and sometimes we've done a pretty good job. But that's the whole idea, and Berluti is a big inspiration to me. So yeah, I like them. There's an ask, when I say yeah, we're very much, again, Berluti's. I think the one big difference I'd say between us and Berluti, aside from the price point, is the, you know, how many shoes we put out. So Berluti is very classic. They have really 5, 6, 7 styles, and that's it. And those styles, like for example, the Andy, which if I'm not mistaken is their loafer. That was named after Andy Warhol because Andy Warhol used to wear those loafers made by Berluti. And that's a style that's still around since like the 60s or 70s or whatever it is. So 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 yeah, so that's probably the biggest difference. We do like to put out new styles and collections. I think that I'd get bored if we just had 5 styles and just kept on selling those all day long. So so yeah, so I try to do things a little bit different, but at the same time, Berluti's a big inspiration. So Ace, Adrian. So for those of you that don't know, Adrian Cooper, who has joined us now in this live stream, is one of the original Ace Marks backers. Really, he was with us. Adrian, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you joined our first 2016 campaign. You have a good amount of our shoes, and you are very vocal in favor of us on social media, which I greatly appreciate. So thank you very much, Adrian, for your continued support. I think you've supported every one of our campaigns since the beginning. So awesome. Thank you. And those are the types of relationships that we're trying to build. And that, you know, I do want to have that personal experience. And for a lot of you guys that have been on a lot of these live streams, you know, I remember what shoe you may have purchased or conversations that we've had. So hopefully we can continue doing that for as long as possible. Thanks, Wujan. I appreciate that you appreciate what we're doing. Adrian, which capitals are you looking at? Yeah, Greg, you like the custom pair, those purple. I think I have those here. I'll show it to everyone. No. Oh, they're there. Yeah, so Greg, so if you saw us at Menfluential, which you obviously did, this is what you saw over there. So this is a custom patina that we made for a customer. And again, I think I've said this story a billion times, but the influence behind these shoes was that transition from day to night, that dusk, that evening time where the sky is all pink and blue and all these different colors in it. And so that's what we did for the guy, for the customer. So yeah, so you saw this in person, so you know that it looks different in person than on camera, but it's a really cool shoe. And I think that Greg, did you get to sign our tattoo shoe that we had over there at Menfluential? I don't know if you saw that also. For those of you that don't know, we are at a convention right before all of this hit. This was late February, early March, and we had thanks, Adrian. I'm glad you like it. So we're at a convention, Julian and I, back in end of February, early March, and we thought it would be a pretty cool idea that as the guest book for the convention, we'd have a tattoo artist on hand tattooing one of our shoes. So anyone that came by our booth, whether it's they wanted us to tattoo their personal name, their brand, their Instagram handle, whatever it is, we did that. And Julian, I don't know if you can pull up any pictures of that, or if you have any access to do that, or if I'd have to, or if you can email me one, I'll see if I can pull one up on my phone to show everyone. But that's something that we did. And this is a purple shoe. For those of you guys that have been around also for a while, this is something that we did for I don't know if he wants me to say his name actually, so I'll keep it quiet. But we did this also for one of our longtime customers. This is another custom patina job that we did. It's pretty cool. So anyone that wants custom patina, I know we have two customers right now that have recently reached out to us to do some custom patina work for them. We don't really advertise it. We try to keep it pretty limited, frankly, because we don't have the bandwidth to do that at scale. But if anyone wants custom patina work on their shoes, we do things that are pretty unique and pretty different. Anything that inspires you, we can do. Actually, I'll show you guys one of our crazier creations. Which is no longer here. Oh, there it is. So this one is definitely not for everyone, but this is something we did custom for a customer. So really, whatever the inspiration here was definitely different, but it's metallic bronze and turquoise, and that's what he wanted. Thank you. I'm glad you like the purple, Adrian. You want to see the Matteo cap toe? This is the Mattel cap toe, Adrian. I don't know if you missed it if you're looking for black, we just had it in black. If it's something you really want, just shoot us an email and we'll make it happen for you, of course. But in the factory access campaign right now, we have this in walnut, Mattel in walnut. So yeah, if anyone has any other questions, we're probably going to be signing off fairly soon. I want to make this digestible for playback. I don't want this to go on for 3-4 hours like I tend to do. Thanks, Fuji. Awesome. Thank you, Ahmed. I really appreciate it. Which 6 pairs do you have, if I may ask? Thanks, Fuji. Yeah, I mean, I'll still be on for another 10 minutes or so, but I just wanted to make sure that anyone that has any question, please ask me now so we can get it. And I would like to keep this to an hour so it doesn't prevent anyone from watching the playback. I know if someone sees 4 hours, 5 hours on a playback, they tend to not they tend to avoid it. And you may be asking why I've been wearing hats lately, for those of you that have been joining us on our weekly happy hours. Oh yeah, and don't forget, happy hour, 5 o'clock. Let me put the link. I'm not sure if we're able to. I'm going to give that. Adrian, you like that copper shoe? Let me put on our happy hour link. Give me 1 second, guys. So we do this. We're doing this right now every Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern. We're hosting a virtual happy hour. Everyone's invited. That's the link for it. Let me just put some more information. There you go. So every Friday, 5 o'clock. We have a really great group of guys. It's always different, but I know there's a few of you guys that are there every single week. It's a really nice group. We just talk about whatever, take it easy. We all have a couple of drinks, maybe more than a couple of drinks, as we do it for about 2 hours. And it's a really, really nice time. It's actually one of the things that I've been looking forward to the most every week right now. We all know that our lives have been significantly affected by the current situation, and I think that it's a pretty cool way for all of us to get to know each other a little bit better, blow off some steam. The conversations get fun, they get funny. Definitely interesting always. You know, we'll pose some questions to the group every now and then, and it's really interesting. We have a few interesting characters that join us. It's really, really cool, and it's a really fun time. I know Leslie, who was here earlier, has joined us a few times. Peter, you're on there exactly, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Adrian, you should join us 5 o'clock today. So in about 3 hours, you guys will be seeing me again at that happy hour. Have a few drinks, and it's just pretty cool. I think the whole point of me bringing that up was not even to mention the happy hour, was the hat. Like all of you guys, I don't know what you all are doing for haircuts, but I think my hair is beyond the point of being manageable. So what little hair I have left. So hats every day. The copper and turquoise shoe, Adrian. That was Sean. So for which color sneakers were we looking for? So we do have, depending on the color, we do have some color matching laces available here. Yeah, is that a guy? Is that how long is your commute, Adrian? We're on for 2 hours, so anytime from 5 to 7 Eastern. You could also catch us on your phone, unless you're driving. Then don't catch us on your phone. But if you're on a subway, on a train, catch us on your phone. Sean, let me know what color laces you need. Blue and gray. So I'll double check here. Send us a quick email if you want. I'll see if we have matching laces. But if matching laces is something that you guys want for sneakers, I think that we can I'll speak to our factory and see if we can throw in matching laces for everything. Right now we're throwing in a white lace for every sneaker. You know, let me write that down. Actually, that's a great idea. Sean, give me a second. I'm going to throw it in there that when I send everyone's orders to the factory, that the extra lace should be a matching lace. And we'll try to get as close as possible to the upper color. We do have flat laces, actually. Oh, that's another feature. So in our signature collection, we have flat wax laces. So I don't have any extras, Peter, but we do, everything on our signature collection comes with a flat wax lace. So Ahmed, thank you. Oh, so you have Ahmed, you have a pretty nice collection. You have all the essentials: Diablo double monks, penny loafers, Chelseas, and lace-up Oxfords. Awesome. Yeah, those double monks. So when it comes to our dress shoes, man, I've been speaking a lot about monk straps lately. But when it comes to our dress shoes, my go-to is a Cognac Tramonta Patina Kurt double monk strap. I'm sorry, Henry double monk strap. That's one that I wear the most, and yes, 100%. That's like a compliment magnet. Driving to the Hamptons in Long Island, 2 hours. Oh man, so you exactly miss our happy hour, Adrian. One day you'll have to stay home, call in sick. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. And Peter, yeah, well, we'll talk. If you're going to join us tonight, we'll talk a little bit more about the flat laces and exactly what you want. If you want them for dress shoes, if you want them for well, obviously for dress shoes. So we'll talk about that tonight, Peter, if you're going to join us. No problem. Cool. So again, any other questions I can answer about the Signature collection? For those of you that have never seen it, oh, the packaging. You know what? We should talk about the packaging. Let's do that. So our Signature collection is comes in a little bit of a different packaging. I'll be honest with you, this is actually from an exchange, so it's not pristine. So it comes like this. So you open the box, nice orange on the bottom, on the inside, I'm sorry. Signature packaging, you open it. All of our Signature shoes come with a metal shoehorn and a Signature dust bag. So packaging is a little bit different. It's a really nice unboxing experience. A little bit different than our original collection. Yeah, I can show you, Sean, our wingtip boots. Only one. Give me a second. Let me see if I have one. It's not on chisel toe last. Again, excuse the last. This is the chisel toe that we didn't launch, but this is the wingtip boot. So just imagine this on our ace last. So the last ends up being a little bit different. And I wish I had some of the other colors here, but I don't have it on me. Thanks, Adrian. Appreciate it. All right. So that's the packaging. Last year when we had our Signature collection, unfortunately, we were not able to show the packaging because it was in the process of being created. But this is the finished product. And again, they all come with a metal shoehorn. So I'll show you, Greg, the packaging for the original collection. So the box is different. I mean, this is actually a box that our samples came in. So it's not, the interior is not properly packaged, but starting from the box, this is original, this is Signature. And again, when you open the original box, you'll have one of our cotton flannel dust bags in there, which unfortunately I don't have one on me. But inside our originals, you have our cotton flannel dust bags in there in beige. When you open up our Signature, you open up the top of the box and you get this. And again, you get the metal shoehorn. And this is almost like a silky feeling dust bag. It's cotton, but it's a different material. It's a little bit smoother and silkier feeling compared to our originals. And our original, it's a beautiful dust bag also, and it's beige, and you get a black plastic shoehorn, which I usually have a billion of them over here. Actually, if you guys remember from our 2016 collection, these were our original shoehorns, but since then we've made them bigger, I think a little bit nicer than this. Don't have it on me. I have two Griffin Black and Brown, Greg's and Cognac, two Nico's Diablo and Brown, Blue Curts, Brown Vincent, Henry Double Long Straps, and Cody and Cognac. Peter, you have it all. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the new Nikos, Peter. We have the Nico now in bourbon, we have it in walnut, and we have a Nico in a blue. And actually, I should bring this up. The blue that we have the Nico in is almost more like a navy, and I know the Velo blue is almost like a lighter, almost like a denim. Here in real life on the camera, it looks a little bit more similar than it actually is in real life. The Velo blue is definitely a lighter blue, and this is more navy-ish. So thanks, Peter. So yeah, so Brown Vincent's. Those Brown Vincents, I don't know if you have it in brown or in cognac, but the Brown Vincents are extremely rare because we usually only have them in cognac. I think we've only made, I'd say maybe 20 or 25 Vincents in brown ever. Nico Diablo's in brown, the Blue Kurtz. Blue Kurtz also very rare. It's not something that we produce high volumes of. Henry Double Monks in black. Cody and Cognac. Cody's also were shoe that's a very limited run. We made those ones, the Cody and Cognac. Similar to everything that you're going to see here on our factory access campaign now. It's a very limited run. So if whatever you pick up in factory access, we usually don't ever make it again. So, you know, maybe there'll be some styles, there's maybe 15, 20 ever made. So it's pretty unique. Adrian, I know you've got like 15. I'm surprised they're not like 50 at this point. But thank you, I appreciate it. So yeah, so guys, Kurt's black and gray looks in mystery box. Yeah, so we're probably going to do, Peter, another mystery box sometime between I'd say June and August. So we'll have some pretty cool shoes to throw in there also. It's a great for those of you that don't know, we do mystery boxes maybe once or twice a year. Probably do it twice a year this year, and it's a great chance to pick up a random pair of interesting shoes for like 100, 120 bucks. So definitely check out the mystery box when you get a chance to, and we'll announce it obviously to our email list. All right, guys, we're past an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up. If any of you guys have any other questions, remember today, 5 o'clock, happy hour. Join us virtually. I put the Zoom link in here. We're also going to send out an email. If you received a previous email with the Zoom link, it's still the same link, so you can dig up that old email with our happy hour announcement. We've also put it on the bottom of every email that we've sent out over the last month and a half or so. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy the new shoes. If you have any questions, again, I'm always here. You can always ask. You can always send an email to info@acemarks.com. Philly or Kevin are going to be happy to answer any questions that you have. The delivery for factory access is going to be for this for the signature edition that we launched just now is going to be September. Frankly, most likely, we're going to be able to deliver both at the same time, sometime in August, but let's just say September for now. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Adrian, Fuji, Wuji. Thank you, Peter. Hope to see you tonight. Giacomo, also, please, you're invited tonight. Greg, everyone's invited. Sean, everyone's invited to have a drink with us today between 5 and 7 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, on Zoom. Thanks, everyone. See you guys later.